Hey everybody, it's Shamika. I wanted to help you keep your income tax refund. So I have a couple things that I wanted to throw out at you guys that will hopefully be informative. All right, so first we're going to start off with the Treasury offset program. A lot of you may have not heard about it, but you probably have definitely been affected by it. So the Treasury Offset Program is just a program that the Treasury Department has, which they've made a memorandum of agreement with a lot of federal agencies and some state agencies, which include child support. And what happens is every year, if you have any outstanding debts that you owe, whether that be the student loans or child support or there's some type of government agency, Social Security, whatever it is, they will report this to the Treasury Department, which in turn reports it to IRS, which in turn causes a garnishment of your income tax check. So how do you stop it? Okay, well, there are some ways to stop it and or slow it down, but first thing is first. One thing you need to do is you need to call the Treasury Department and the IRS. It doesn't take that long. Give them a call early in the morning. That's when the phone lines are less busy. And ask them if you have any offsets that are coming your way, if you have any debts that you have not repaid, so that you can prepare to get your tax refund given back, so that you don't have to let it get taken. There are ways to stop this ahead of time. I'm going to get to that next. But that's the first thing you need to do, is find out if you have any garnishments. The second thing you need to do is update your mailing address. There are so many people who do not find out that they're going to have any garnishments coming their way simply because they did not receive the correspondence because their address is not correct. So you need to make sure that your address is updated secondly, all right? The next thing you need to do, and this is for my married folks. I do have my notes over here, so you have to excuse me. But if you're married and you file, okay, here's my suggestion starting off. If you're married, first find out if either spouse has any garnishments coming, because if you file and you didn't find out and the tax check is taken, the income tax refund check is taken, it takes about 14 weeks to get your refund back. Yes, you can get a portion of your refund back if two individuals who are married file together and one individual has garnishments or had unpaid debts, and the other spouse got caught up in it and their income tax or their portion of the refund was taken. They have a program, and when I say they, I'm talking about IRS. They have a program called the Injured Spouse Program, and all it is, you just print out two pages. You're going to fill out the information that you're going to get from your actual tax forms, and you're going to mail it in. But like I said, it takes 14 weeks. So that's fine if you have the time, but I would advise everybody to check first to see if you have any garnishments coming ahead of time. I promise you can stop so much stuff if you find out ahead of time. All right, so say you call and you find out that you do have garnishments coming. Well, this is the first thing you need to do. If it is a garnishment with student loan, you need to immediately call the Department of Education and get on a payment plan before the 31st of December, and they may not honor the new repayment agreement because it happened in the same year that they're going to take your tax refund. So you want to do this before December 31st, okay? So let's just throw it out there. I know we don't have that much time left, but we want to try to get this in before December 31st so that you can get on an agreement. It has enough time to make it to Department of Education. Once you're on a payment plan, that does stop them from any collection activities, and that will secure your tax return. And that's if you owe money to the student loans. If you owe money to IRS for a previous tax year or something of that nature, there are some things you can see if they will let you work out a payment plan, but in most cases, they may or may not, and a lot of times they don't care. So what you do, if you owe IRS or you owe Social Security and you have money that you usually can't work out a payment agreement for, then your next option would be to file bankruptcy. Now, this does not mean that you're filing bankruptcy and you're going to complete the process and go through it and discharge your debts. That is your choice if you choose to. But you can file bankruptcy because bankruptcy does have a stay associated with it. And a lot of people don't know what a stay is, and that's STAY. And pretty much that means all debts or any collection activities have to halt when you file bankruptcy. It gives you some time between the time that you file bankruptcy and the time that the case is discharged. You have that much time, and that window could be 45 days, 30, 45 days, but you have that window of time to contact your collection companies or whomever it is that you owe as it pertains to them taking your income tax refund, and you can give them your bankruptcy number, your case number, and they will stop the collection efforts. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean you're going to always get your money back. That does have to be determined by that actual agency, because federal debts are not necessarily dischargeable in all bankruptcy cases. Some are, but it's different extenuating circumstances. So I just like to say, as a rule of thumb, you don't really necessarily should look for it to be dischargeable, because some debts are not going to be, and 99% of the time you're going to get no. But there are some slim cases that do slide by. But if your debt is not dischargeable in the bankruptcy, there isn't too much that you can do about that. All you can do necessarily is try. I know that this is one of those situations that a lot of people, they really need their money around that time of the year, and I completely understand that. So the best thing to do always is to try to get ahead of this ahead of time, which I suggest, like I stated before, to call those numbers so that you can find out. If you don't by chance happen to do that and you get caught up and your tax return is taken, you can take those other steps to file bankruptcy. You can always call the department and see if they have their own version of a hardship program. I can tell you, I have been dealing with this with customers for years, and I haven't really found any other thing that really works other than just filing bankruptcy to enact that automatic stay that you get, which at least slows down the process. And then you'll do your financial forms, and then they'll find out if you qualify to get your money returned. So I would tell you that there is nothing that's 100% guaranteed other than not defaulting in the first place, so that they don't have to take your debt. So, and I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but facts are facts. So if you want to keep your check, try to get ahead of it now, folks. You have time before December 31st to get on the payment plan to stop this from happening, especially if it's student loans. So many people get their taxes taken for student loans. And if it is the same thing with child support, if it's a child support issue, go down to the department and get on a payment plan so that you can keep your tax check. Now, if you just don't care, you don't care, that's fine. But this is how you can stop it if you do care and you do want to spend your money the way you want to spend it. You earned it, you want it back. And so I'm just giving you some ways to save it. Hopefully I help somebody. So thank you guys very much. I appreciate your time. And as always, please, you'll find the information below, and click subscribe, save, do whatever. I appreciate your support. Thank you, and thank you again.